Okay, so I've got the pan all cleaned out and cut. Basically that's the lip of the frame that I'll drill holes in the pan for and plug weld. I cleaned out the lip. I'm hoping for around a 1/4 inch lip around the entire side. Those are the welds that I drilled out in the bottom of the seat pan, and then I've actually cut the sheet metal on the underside. You can see that's about almost a 1/2 inch, a little over 1/2 inch underside there. So basically the trick now would be to cut the pan for the new piece that goes in, and what you're trying to do here is I'm trying to find some good points to measure off of. So what I've done is I've come here off of the crown and then measured down to find out where my cut line is. So I just took a few measurements over here where I've cut off of this top lip and then measured down. And the trick here is I want to hold it shy because I want about a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to go a little further at first, and then after I cut the piece, I'll test fit it a couple times and continue cutting. I'm cutting this primarily with my offsets. It's a little harder work, it takes a little strength, but I can get pretty precise and take my time to get the cut right. For cleaning, the final clean, I want to make sure I get a good weld. If you're welding with a MIG, you want to get it to stick really well. The trick for that is making sure your edges are really clean. So I started with the wire cut brush and then switched over to the 1/4 inch shank on the, these are kind of a little abrasive disc. They spin on and off of here. So next thing is continue marking the pan off of those high spots, and I'll make some of my first cuts with the offsets. To measure back, this is actually the hole that's in the bottom of the pan for the subframe. So I just measured back center line from that hole to get a rough idea where my cut along the face edge is going to be. And again, I'm holding it slightly proud, even more so, because I just want to get it a test fit right now, and then I'll go in and scribe exactly where that hole is at and offset it a 1/4 inch so that I can get a good continuous seam all the way across. Same on the back. I came on the upper lip here and then measured down to the cut in the pan of the car. So next step, cut this pan, test fit it, mark it, trim it, and then we can start some welding. Okay, so next step. Yeah, I gave up on the double cuts pretty quickly. They work, but it's way too much work. So I went ahead and went to the death wheel, also called cutting wheel on a grinder without a guard. It's kind of dangerous, so you have to be really careful, and it cuts fast. So anyways, I got it marked out and cut out. Okay, so got the pan in, trimmed it to fit, and it turned out pretty good. It's still a little bit of cleanup around the edges, but you can see I did some plug welds here just to kind of get a little extra support on the structure that was underneath here. Actually a lot of this is going to get notched and cut out because there's a subframe connector that'll go through here, but I'm going to do that later, obviously, when I get it on the rotisserie. So yeah, I have about a 1/4 inch lap on the other side. So this is all fully welded, and then it'll get lizard skin eventually, and then it'll really kind of blend in with the rest of the car. The underside's tricky because I'm not going to weld underneath here. I'm actually going to end up, you can see my welds have good penetration here, but there's a little bit here, and I'm probably going to come back when the car's on the rotisserie and weld this in proper. That way there's no lip, kind of make sure there's nothing to really get caught on. And then really here, I wanted to make sure that those seams lined up. So a little bit of a gap, not much, it's like nothing. So I'll come back in when the car's on the rotisserie and I'll seal this up with the welder. I really don't want to weld on my back. I forgot how much I don't like working underneath cars anymore. So yeah, good penetration. I'll clean that all up and lizard skin it when we're done. All the welding was done with my welder, my MIG, Miller 175. I used an 023 wire and just ran it on a pretty low temperature for the most part. I like to run a little higher wire speed, especially if I'm filling in something like a gap, trying to float it a little bit. So yeah, overall turned out good. I'm not going to leave that in bare metal. I'll probably just shoot some light primer over it, just some flat black or something for now. I don't like to leave too bare metal for very long of a time, and it's probably going to be a month before I get the rotisserie made and start really getting this car spun on its side. So hope you liked it.